when you start writing a book, you living it. Well, I mean, honestly, if you want to learn anything, you teach it, right? Because you understand it to one level, right? There's levels of understanding, and when you go into a practice, you do the practice, you understand it to a level, but then when you have to teach it, now you're getting down to a new level of it. So writing is the same way. And if you're going to write a book, you better make sure that what you're writing you believe. So you got to live through it. If there's heartbreak and pain you got to overcome, you got to go through heartbreak and pain and overcome it. And that's the journey I was on. It was like excruciating pain on your plate, and here's how to overcome it. Need to learn how to attract your soulmate, want to learn how to date differently, it's time for that. Like, here's a bunch of men you can date and practice on. Communicating with men, I mean, I have to do it all the time, but I do find I love that one the best because there's so many men to practice on, and you can make mistakes because they don't stay in your life. But when you get it right, when you're out and about and you just like try something and you see they smile or they stop or they're like, whoa, no one's talked to me that way before. Thank you. Like they really feel it. You're like, and you're like, yeah, it works. It works. I see more women who are giving up. It's like they've tried and tried and tried and nothing worked. And they're just done. It's like, how many times do you keep trying, Right. And when you when you try, you do. Women don't try half-heartedly. They go for it. They give it their all. And even if some of that all is shitty and they make mistakes and, but they're still trying, they're trying to pick a better partner. They're trying to show up better in their partnership. They're trying to do it all because women actually, we want to be perfect. I think both people have given up. It's not just the women who have given up. The men have given up too. And they speak a different language than us. And everything that we do really is not in line with them. And so they feel attacked and they feel hurt and they're giving up too. Both sides are giving up. I'm going to say that mine is going to be less polarizing. Yeah, there's this whole movement that's been going on for the last 10 years about femininity and masculinity, and men are not in their masculine and they need to be in their masculine, and women are in their masculine and they need to be in their feminine. The thing is like there's an operating system that's instinctual that we operate from. And when you learn those two operating systems, whether you're male or female, you can see where you're operating from. I do it all the time. I work. I have to do some things that put me more in a masculine type energy. And I have to switch out of that. And the way to get out of that is the same way that men need to step out of that. Because men can't be in their masculine all the time, because in that state, what we're really saying is we want them to produce. We want them to produce. We want them to show up, produce, achieve a goal, accomplish something. That's the masculine energy, right? It's a driving energy. It's a single focused energy. But that's not open to playfulness and fun and options. So you have a woman who's like, my man doesn't have options. It's just yes or no. And like he's just a straight shooter. It's just this one way. Well, that's because he's only in his masculine. You want him to open up. Well, it's an operating system. So when you learn the operating system, you can see how you can transport yourself from one to the other and how to do it easy. And you can notice when other people are in one and how to support them if they need to be in that or if they need to come out of it. Because a feminine energy is beautiful and men need to play there too. They need to be open to options. They need to be scanning the environment. They need to be able to, pick up on all the subtleties going on around them. It's a really magical place. It's a creative place. And yeah, they need to be there too. So I'm not going to polarize the sexes. Well, they do have intuition. They have just as deep intuition. Now, if they're able to access that, that's a different thing. And if they're able to speak it, I think it's easier for a woman. It's okay for her to say, I have intuition about this. This is what I'm choosing. And I think a lot of women also think that they're operating from intuition when they're operating from their nervous system. So, are you truly acting from inspiration or are you acting from emotion? That's something to look at, because we feel it in our body. And because we feel it in our body, we think it's divine and we think it's inspiration. Now we have a divine body, we're feeling something, but is that intuition? Do you know what your intuition actually sounds like and feels like? Are you so familiar with that voice? Or are you reacting an instinct and you're feeling it in your body? Those are very different things. I was just reading something the other day. This man was giving advice about dating. He's like, slow down. You don't actually know somebody that fast. And I've seen it in my own life, like the dating thing just goes so fast. You think you know somebody. Really, I like to say, let's use intuition first. And I do that very specifically. So in the Soulmate Frequency, there's a practice in there where you learn how to communicate with the heart. And you get attuned to that communication. And then when you go on a first date, you actually listen and tune in to what your heart says. Because in 3 minutes flat, even less, a woman's heart can read everything about a man, and she will know if that man is a good partner for her or not. Her heart will know that. Now, the heart has neurons too. It's like a mini brain. But you have to be able to distinguish between that mini brain and what it's saying and what your brain is saying, because he could look great. He could look great on paper. He could act kind. Everything looks wonderful on the surface. The communication is good on the first date. He's highly invested in talking to you because he's searching for his mate as well. And so he's single focused. He's going to show up. He's going to do what he needs to do because he's searching too, right? So best behavior, right? Naturally, he's in his best behavior. So it's going to seem like it's going to fit. So you have to learn how to tune into that heart space in the very first couple moments of meeting him. And that's part of the book, because there's different phases that you're going through in this dating process. And you use the heart test. There's been moments where I had in the past would go on a date and I would get a no. My heart would say no. And if I followed through with continuing to date that person, within 2 or 3 months, it would always fizzle out. And not in a good way. It would be bad. But when I listen to it, that doesn't mean I'm choosing them as my partner. It means that they have the capacity, probably, but you still have to date them through these other phases and see how they react and respond. Yes, he may be a match on some level. And is he showing up?